Welcome back to group call May 18th, Monday, first day of the week. Very nice, very nice. We are trading away from that high on Thursday from last week. Obviously, you have this internal manipulation and the SFT here. I'm pretty sure Friday. No SFT. Actually, yeah, SFT. Tweaking. SFT with London highs, and even on ES we have this one internal manipulation as well. NQ, after we made that manipulation, we just traded away. We never really rebalanced back up there near the order block range or whatever. So price could still be valid to respect that area and then dump, right? But realistically, you're really looking to be like more bullish at this point. Why? Because price rebalanced dug really deep. We even manipulated these lows on the left. So if you had the bullish bias, it was not wrong. It's just all about reaction. So after price swept that low, you could see that we were clearly bullish. Okay, NQ swept this reaccumulation, the rechop, all of this, reswept it very nicely, and then we started displacing away. We rebalanced, displaced away even, and we even came back and gave us another internal manipulation. So bias longs, not bad. It was understandable. If you looked at ES was really slow. Even it came back to manipulate internally, but like if you look, damn near edge of the low on the left. So this should have been a sign that like, okay, price is truly bullish. I don't want it to edge lows, you know, like what's going on. So, and if you look at it from like the 50-minute, you can see so much chop, so much accumulation right here near London. So all of this could be DOL if we were to be bearish, okay? And if we were looking at like the 50-minute, you could see fat CB where price rebounds displaced away, CB's rebounds displaced away. For shorts, look at the reaction we were getting for the shorts. They were way much cleaner than like the longs right here. Okay, just looking at the shorts here and the longs here, which one looks way more prominent, way more significant, way more like respectable, you know, if you were to take it? Obviously the shorts, because they have much cleaner displacement, and like even if we were rebalancing, we're displacing away immediately. We're not really sitting there making more lows like right here. So on the lower time frame, yes, this looks like valid to take. Everything looks like, but if you look at it on the 50-minute, you can see all of this chop, all this accumulation as well. So when price started to pump at pre-market at 8:30, damn near getting near our DOO, you would know this is going to be like manipulation. And if you like the 50-minute, we were still inside the CB, we were respecting it, and price gave us the small internal manipulation. After it gave us this internal manipulation, let me look at NQ. Yeah, we even had the small internal SFT as well on ES, and after that, you're just seeing how price is reacting from that manipulation. Are we like trading away? Are we slowing down still? Let me mark it out properly. Boom. There we go. So price took it out. Nice displacement away. Price displaces past these lows right here. Okay. Price again rebalances back up to this order block right here. We tap into it and nice displacement away. We get another rebalance, displacement away. Multiple rebalances, but we're still displacing away lower. We're making like, we went from making new highs to making new lows. So you can see structure for being bearish is being built. All right, now you're just waiting to see what 930 does, and that can confirm your bias easily. Okay, so after we make that high, that manipulation, the internal manipulation on the 50-minute, but you can see this as external. On 5-minute or 1 minute, it's still fine either way, as long as you've seen that, okay, we're respecting the bearish narrative, or still, you know, not wrong to think that, okay, we're bullish, we have nice internal manipulations to send us higher, but price flipped. If you look at the 50-minute, this might look like small internal manipulation on the lower time frame, but on the higher time frame, this is all chop. This move up is the manipulation. After that, nice displacement lower. 930 opens. Where is it? 930 opens. We leave a wick, but it's still fine nonetheless. We're still respecting the bearish idea. We displaced past this BSC, so you know any of these lows right here on the left are not going to reverse price because these are all insignificant. Okay, the only thing that price might respect and displace away from is like this BSC and then like this BSC right here, but we'll get into that. So 930 opens, just wicks on both sides, not really nothing to take, nothing like significant, nothing is like signifying that we're going to continue lower. 933 opens, we get a rebalance, and then it was really deep, but we never really displaced past this wick up here, which is a good sign that like, okay, this rebalance, we're still respecting the CBs and the bearish candles even though they're fat wicks. So 934, if you did take a trade at 934 right here off the rebalance, it was valid, but still not really the cleanest in my opinion. Obviously 1-to-1 or the nearest accumulation lows, which would have been right here, this on the left, This would be like the significant piece of structure. If price was to internal manipulate, it would give us that. All right, so that was like the first short you're gonna take in. After price took it out, you're seeing how price is reacting. Are we gonna pump up? Are we gonna reverse? You see price rebalances with 2 candles, but we never really displaced past the SIBI, so you know we are not bullish yet. So you can continue looking for shorts, DRD past that low. All right, so nothing, no candle displacement yet, nothing with a full body. If you looked at this candle at 940, you could see like it opened really nicely, but it closed like a wick. So in these cases where you're seeing a lot of wicks, especially from 930 down, be patient, wait for candle closure. Okay. Again, another rebalance after that candle opened, and we never really take out that high, so you can still see that we are bearish. So after this candle closes like this, the second one opens and starts displacing, then you can enter either at the open of it or as it's displacing, but realistically anywhere on it would have been fine. And stop loss would be at that wick high, the rebalance right here. TP, again, if price is already digging really deep inside the BSC, where would be the next cleanest DOL for price to reverse from? This accumulation low right here, which is the valid piece of structure. Price is not going to look to reverse and pump 100 points from just taking out the small internal. No, it'll look to take out the entire like range of it. So this would have been your DOL. Boom. After that, we get another nice rebalance inside this candle. Okay, price doesn't even really displace up. It displays past it, but you're still fine either way. If you waited for the next candle to open, next candle open, we start displacing lower. So if you entered on this candle, fine, 100%. Stop loss at the rebalance, and then you TP again, same DOL, right? That was another trade you could have taken. Cool. Now you're waiting to see a reaction. What is price doing after we take out this low? So price rebounds back inside this order block, but it's not really significant. Didn't really take out any structure, right? But it's coming from these internal manipulation that we had. So this was the last low that we had before we started pumping higher. So you're ready to see how price is reacting from that low, right? The small internal manipulation could send price back up. It could rebalance it. It could reverse it. We'll just wait to see what happens, okay? So candle opens, or it takes out that low, we start displacing up. Next candle bearish, but we don't really get a displacement past this candle, so really not much for you to take shorts. So I wouldn't really take shorts here until you see full like candle closure body displacing past it. Okay, so if you just see a wick, don't, just be patient, wait for the next candle. So price reswept that low. Cool, let me check ES. Yeah, and at the same time we also have SFT right here. So you have internal SFT and you have bearish SFT, so they both could play a role. Right now we fulfilled the bearish SFT up here where price just sent us, delivered us lower. NQ was far ahead, so manipulated lower, gave us that internal manipulation, and it also gave us the SFT. So price is valid to be bullish now. We're just waiting to see what price does. Price resweeps, gives us a small turtle swoop, then displaces away, rebalances. If we mark out the order block, it would be like this. So price is respecting the order block, and it rebounds inside of it. Now we're seeing fat candle closure displacement past that high. This would have been a valid long to take. Boom, boom. Stop loss either at the rebounds or at the order block, but realistically the rebounds after that fat candle closure displacement, and you're TPing at one of the DOLs on the left. Realistically 1-to-1 or anything on the left. So you have this high, these highs right here, these stacked highs, and this high up here. So any of these would have been valid. If you were targeting anything extra, is understandable. But if you looked at ES as well, ES was already far ahead, and it gave us that internal manipulation back up with what do you call it? My bad. That SFT and that internal manipulation on the highs pre 930. So this manipulation is in line with NQ and ES. So ES is now can be bearish. NQ was already bearish, but we just got to rebalance with that bullish SFT at that low. So be careful with ES. The second you see that happen, don't try to target too much. Just target for 1-to-1. Second you see price slow down, get out of your trade. All right. But if you looked at this as like another trade opportunity where we rebalanced and displaced up, if you guys took longs here or anywhere here, stop loss at the rebalance, it would have worked out. But again, remember that SFT on ES. So get out at 1-to-1, and the second you see price manipulate this high, which was it's 935 or 936, get out of the trade, because at the same time, 955, ES made that SFT and that internal manipulation, so price can now dump and be bearish for both pairs. All right. After we made that SFT, nice immediate displacement lower. Basically it's inverse. We get a rebalance, another displacement lower. So this was another trade you could have taken right here. Boom, stop loss at the rebalance, which is valid, and your TP either 1-1 or the first internal draw, which would have been this order block low that we rebalanced into. But now we're bearish. This order block really shouldn't have any respect, or it shouldn't really hold. So if you targeted the whole thing, it was also valid. Okay, we didn't really get much rebalances, but if you still entered on this candle, as long as you TP'd at that low, you would have been fine. After price took out that low, we still had enough energy to run back because we had internal manipulation to internal manipulation to rebalance. You know what I'm saying? So anytime you see this internal manipulation when we're in like a bear scenario, expect that internal manipulation to give you longs, but the longs are going to be a rebalance. Okay, a rebalance for either the pair that already made the manipulation, or it'll be a remanipulation for the pair that didn't. So like for example, you see how this internal manipulation sent ES higher to give us that resweep, but on NQ we already swept those highs, so we didn't really need to resweep. You get what I'm saying? That's why. So on NQ was a rebalance, but on ES it was a full resweep. Alright. Another internal manipulation ran price back up higher. If you've seen this as like SIBI, disrespect, displacement, very nice. It was still valid to take. Okay, just be mindful of like the narrative and bias. Overall, we're bearish, but you really shouldn't really target more than that high, because like why? That's where we made the SMT at the very highs up there, which would have been like right here. So realistically, there's a order block up there that price could still rebalance into and displace away from. Alright, but if you did take the longs, nonetheless, they were still valid. Nothing wrong with them. Just be mindful. Again, price rebalance at 10:15 inside the order block where we had the SMT and the internal manipulation. From there, you see nice reaction and we get nice displacement out of it, which is signifying that, okay, price is looking to respect that order block and the bearish bias. Price displaces past that low. Do we get a DRD past it, or do we get a rebalance? If you waited for like legit one more minute at 10:20, price rebalance, even back inside this other order block, started displacing lower. So you can take your longs here, anywhere, it was fine. Stop loss at the rebalance, which would have been 30 points. And both pairs are correlated, they're aligned. Especially on ES. ES, we had a internal manipulation as well. And we see nice displacement away from that low. Wait. 10:15, wrong high. Nah, yeah, both were still valid. So after price rebalance starts displacing away, you can enter either TP at 1-1 or back up to this internal draw, and from here you can see what price is doing. So if you TP'd at that internal draw, which was valid, if you took shorts along this leg, it's still valid as well, as long as you had it above a protected SL. So this high, or after price internally swept here, valid as well. Displaced again, you can re-enter shorts again as long as your TP was this low right here, because these internal manipulations can still run price higher. But now that we kept internally manipulating again and again and again, it's becoming less and less and less probable for price to continue running back up or giving us a deep rebalance. So after price swept that low, what do you see? Candle barely failing to close above this high. So you know we're not really going to look to pump up any higher or continue displacing higher. I mean rebalancing, because everything else is nicely rebalanced. Price opens, starts displacing lower. You could have entered here. Stop loss at the high up here, which would have been as well valid. And TPs, you look at your left. What could you TP at? Obviously, this first internal manipulation low. And you have the lows from overnight. Boom, which would have been that low right there. You could have targeted as well. And below that, you have low of day, which was Asia. So that is the shorts you could have taken. Again, after price swept this London low or pre-London lows, we get a run back up higher, price rebalanced, and overall we're still respecting the bearish idea. So if you were to take longs, nothing wrong with them, especially when we have this order block right here we could refer to. If you draw like this or even like that, it doesn't really matter. But you can see price is still respecting it, and it displaced up. So if you took longs right here, after the rebalance, or here after displacement, still valid. Stop loss here, or at the rebalance depending on where you entered, and TP either 1-1 or back up to the SIBI, because this was the SIBI that displaced us past these previous lows. So you really shouldn't really target past it, because like this was the SIBI that displaced us. So PXL could still be in play here. Alright, but that was the longs you could have taken at 10:40 after price rebalanced again. Nice displacement, basically gets inversed. Shorts were valid here. Stop loss at the high. What the hell? My bad. And TP internal lows or that low right there. But after you see price sweep, what the heck? after you see price give us this internal manipulation inside this order block and price starts being bullish, realistically you really don't want to hold your shorts. You just want to react to see what price is doing overall. So right now we look like much bullish than bearish, obviously, but again, be mindful of the narrative and bias. We're still shorting, so these longs could still be a rebalance as well. All right, so after price gave us this internal manipulation, we failed to displace past that first high. We didn't really like the order block up there. We didn't react that great off of it. Yes, we did displace, but we never really inverse this entire BSC. So be mindful. You really shouldn't be taking longs here. I mean shorts. All right, wait for price to do something. So after price came back, it gave us that internal manipulation at 10 or 11 a.m. We had SMT on ES, but the reaction wasn't the greatest. But I could see that chop in the slow now, so like price slowing down. That would signify that okay, price is still valid to resweep. All right, so it reswept. After that, we started displacing lower, and then it became a chop fest. But we still displaced cleanly because we took out this internal low. So this is telling you that okay, this SMT can hold, but chop. A bunch of rebalancing, no really displacement. The second you see the displacement, you realistically would want to enter, but this is where you'd want to wait. When you see a lot of chop and price wicking, slow down. The second you see price displace out of it, it's a good sign, but you don't want to enter, because what if price was to resweep or rebalance again? You're just caught in the middle. So what do you want to wait, and how to get more win rate or more confirmation from this displacement candle out of the accumulation? Wait for DRD. So if price was to displace, rebalance, displace again, this is confirming that okay, price won't come back to this high again. All right, which we see that after price came back, gave us this internal manipulation, slowed down, then we started displacing, it rebalanced, and more displacement lower. You get what I'm saying? So yes, you want to see a displacement out of accumulation with full body candle closure, but wait for DRD after it. That will confirm if this candle is probable that we can refer to it, or wait for price to resweep, remanipulate, re-internal manipulate. Then we could take our next set of DRD or CBBC disrespect. But yeah. Boom. And yeah, it's pretty much 940 and 1040. Yep. Alright, any questions about PA breakdown? Alright. So we bearish overall by kind of bullish macro, like 940 and onward. Yeah. The only time we were bullish is overnight. But even the overnight bullishness was overall chop on the higher time frame, right? Us manipulating pre 930 and 930 delivering lower would have signified that okay, flip. Bias has been flipped, right? We're still continuing bearish. I wouldn't say 940. It was post 945-ish where we had that internal manipulation at SMT. But it was even that leg up, the longs were just the rebound to continue us shorting. So it was fine to fade the DRD shorts. I mean, depending where you're looking at it, if it was 945 and onward, yeah, it was fine to fade them. But 955, after we made that SMT, price gave us a nice reaction. Most of the time that we kept resweeping, like today for example, kept resweeping the lows, you could expect for that manip to not hold and us continue lowering. Yeah, exactly. Every time price is resweeping a low, it's legit signifying that okay, we're more bearish than bullish. If we're truly bullish, it wouldn't need to resweep 10, 5, 3 times. You get what I'm saying? It would legit sweep once, send us higher. Alright? That was it. Let's get into the trades. Forward rebalance, stop loss at the high, nice displacement, back to that low. Felt intuitive, but no real entry trigger, so I just forward tested it. If we were bearish, this would be a decent continuation setup overall, though. I might be wrong about the narrative, not sure yet. Yeah, that's good. Context match trade, all bullish manip is holding. Was waiting for a bullish manip to then see how we would react off of it. Waited for an entry trigger, was waiting on CB to suspect, but got enough confirmation. Price was ready to run. Yeah, clean. Nice candle closure, displacement past the highs. The order block gets rebounced into. Terminal SFT right here. CB gets inverse as well. Displacement, back up. Yeah, was valid longs. Minificate for new, you had to do a job, but we back at it. Bet. Good, bro. Proud of you. SFT, sort of manipulation, order block and respected, displacement out of it. You enter TP at that high. Very clean. Yep, valid. Yeah, over that. Took this on my practice today, didn't like PA, so I just decided to forward test. Yeah, overall valid. Longs, clean internal manipulation, turtle soup, order block getting respected, displacement out of it, stop loss at the candle rebalance, and the fat busy. TP at that internal high right there. Yeah, valid. Good. I was wrong. We were setting up with manip and busy disrespect. On the 15-minute, caught this with the narrative. Yeah, valid shorts, rebalance, enter on the displacement lower, stop loss at the high. You get another candle rebalance, price is listing lower. Very clean. So what gave me the most confidence here is seeing how price kept remanipulating the lows but failed to get any type of displacement to the upside. Ideally, the low in the middle of the range within the 15 minutes would have held if we were bearish. And we would have seen strong movement higher, but we didn't. I then checked the 15-minute time frame there, so we actually had 1 minute setup on the 15-minute. So the internal low on the 15-minute would likely get taken since price is fractal. Once price started to displace again right after that bearish doji, I knew we'd like to push the 15-minute lower. Yeah. Yep. Valid thought process, 15-minute, minute, and busy disrespect. Yep. Very clean. Good. No trade question. For today's long on NQ, we had a tiny CB disrespect. For CB and busy disrespect, doesn't matter how big or small the busy is. If you're referring to the entire size of the candle, as long as like it looks nice, like it doesn't have fat wicks on both ends, it's still fine. But if you're referring to like the gap in the middle, as long as there's some type of gap that price is like rebouncing into or like somewhat reacting from, it's fine either way. OTE Monday forward test, waited for confirmation before entry, but obviously I could have gotten it earlier. I'm just trying to practice patience. Rebalance, displacement, enter. Yeah, it's valid. Yeah, valid. Reason for trade coming to the day, I was bullish, higher time frame, market open, redump, take out turtle draws, and rebounds price. We then get a displacement through a tiny CB, take longs off that, take it on 1-to-1. Yep, valid longs as well. Good job, Rayhan. I didn't feel confident in the first leg, so I waited to see what price does at the first eternal low. Price manipulates the low to rebound and continue down. My first entry with lots because we premature plus my stop loss was horrible. I entered again once I saw an actual displacement. Actual busy get respected, or busy get respected with better stops and TP at the next eternal low. Enter shorts here. At the candle was displacing lower, so it closed like a wick. Stop loss, I think it was at the high of that. First trade E, it wasn't bad, but it was just a stop loss placement. This was the last rebound that candle wick high. The only time you'd want to have your SL below it is if that candle that you entered on fully closed bearish, and like we could refer to it as like a CB now. Alright, then it's like valid for you to put your stop loss up there. But realistically, above that high up there, which price never really took out. But overall, the re-entry was still good and it was still valid. And your TP readjusted it down to this eternal low, which was good as well. So yeah, good. Yeah, very good. Was able to follow my rules with the crash and lead. Price took out most of the accumulation lows from the previous week. We had a turtle manipulation during Asia and London. Also turtle manip around 7 a.m. Prices started to rebound slower. Knowing this is a rebalance price needed to manipulate all the pre-market lows before becoming bullish. 9:30 price started going lower, but not displacing. Baited all the DRD entries since manipulated the pre-market lows and internally manipulated. Displays away from the order block, entry after displaced away. I saw below the mid-up, targeting 1-2-1 trade also after price came back and displaced. Stops as well, order block, price rebalance, displaced again, and then you dragged it to the rebalance, CP at the high. Very, very clean. Nothing bad to say, Slayer. Good job. I had a stronger bullish narrative than bearish. I didn't like any DRD shorts because there were lots of bissies and lows that we could have easily reversed off of. Yep, valid. I waited till we got to 50% of the range and turned on manip 3 micros because stops for 60 points. I entered a little premature off of manip because ES had a big displacement candle. Trade stops to profit when ES took out 9:30 highs. Made SFT stay patient. Oh, glory to God. Yeah, very, very good. Actually, was still nice. Stop loss was perfect as well. TP, you just let it run. If price was to run higher, it is fine either way. But you trail it the second you see an SMT, and you got out at the perfect time. Yeah, very, very clean. Good job. Quinton, SMT, price rebalance at the order block. We displaced away, rebalance, displacement, another rebalance, internal manipulation, displacement. You enter on that. Stop loss was good. Hopefully it was like up here, but it's good. And TP at the internal low. High time for narrative aligned. I would say yes. Yes, you aligned yourself at the narrative. It was good. Yeah, overall it was good. Manipulation, yes. Displacement, yes. Yeah, everything was good, Quinton. Good job. Hopefully, inshallah, God willing. Manipulation at the lows created an order block. We had CB disrespect, but I wanted to wait for price to rebalance to get a tighter SL. 1040. Yeah, very clean. Order block, price rebalance inside of it. Then we immediately start displacing up. You enter. Stop loss, hopefully at that low. And then you dragged it up. And TP. Perfect. Good job, CP3. AP longs were good, but you have to remember we're bearish. Price can still respect the PXL. This was the displacement candle that had the significance. If you looked at it, this was the rebalance, this was the displacement. So we have to refer to this to be right here. Alright, if price was to continue being bearish, it would look to respect it, then continue going lower. Right? If it was bullish, it would immediately inverse it and pump us. Pump us higher. But a sign that price respected it is candle slowing down after this nice fat displacement. 2 candle displacement was really clean. The longs here were clean, but after this candle slowed down, the next one, we swept that high of it, which is not really significant, but you can still see it as like a minor sign, right? It reswept it and we closed bearish. So that would have been like a sign like, okay, price is still respecting the bearish. Let me just be extra careful. Quinton, forward test, yeah, same thing. I would say really high time frame aligned because your shorts that you took up here, they were aligned, they had TP this, not really. But overall, this was still valid to take. Just reacting to what price was doing is what you guys should have done. Yep, still valid. I haven't won a trade in 2 weeks. I'm generally getting raped. I mean, bro, if you're taking trades like these, what do you expect? You're entering too late. Tournament manipulation already happened. We get a rebalance. Okay, we're still bearish overall. Like, you're forgetting the narrative and the bias, right? Yes, you have your internal, like, for longs and stuff like that. It's still valid to take, but you have to react to what you're seeing. Price is respecting the bearish idea, especially when we have PXL right here. React. Is this manipulation not valid because we already manipulated London, so that should have set the stage for New York continuation? Bullish instead of bearish. My narrative is off today. I assume got blinded by all this accumulation, took longs. Yeah, if London lows were protected, 930 would have continued pumping higher and we would have just flown higher. But us flipping the narrative, which means like, okay, bullish is not gonna work out, so bears have to be in play, right? So these longs are not like wrong to take. They were still valid to take because they gave us a nice reaction and price gave us nice like entry triggers, but it's just about the entry and TP. All right, yeah, us resweeping that low, I'm pretty sure we swept it on NQ with this candle at 230, but unfortunate, I can't lie. And if you looked at the high time frame as well on the 5 minute, you can see price came back, internal manipulation, displaced away, rebounced back inside the high, continued displacing away. So we're still building that bearish like trend lower, right? And we have this fat SIBI that price still rebounds inside of, you know. 933 macro entry trigger narrative busy bias targeting standard deviation 120 original sell 40 points trailed after respected SIBI. Been forward testing Mondays all month at all-time highs. Second. Whereas MACD 1040 was better. Look at it. Yep, rebalance, displacement, enter, targeting 2. Yeah, it's valid. Just be careful entering at 9:30 and 9:33. No trades today, valid. Bet, still fine. Enjoy school. Honestly, not my favorite. Nice mid-dip and displacement for longs. Overnight was making bullish mid-dips, continuing to displace higher, but closed at SMT for a little over 1-to-1. Narrative was overall bearish, why I think this trade could be improved. Yeah, overall your long is still valid, like, you know, and you reacted very well at the SMT. You didn't really, you know, cope with it and try to hold it for any longer. So overall still valid. Coming into 1045, we had been displacing to the downside all day. We just took out a nice piece of structure, so I was looking to see the reaction from this. Price ended up giving a strong displacement higher, disrespecting the sell side from this. I went on a rebalance displacement. See what price would do here because I was in between narrative. Price ended up rebalancing, displacing the upside, giving me confirmation to enter long. I have reason to believe this loss was solely narrative, but also waited for all my confirmation and followed my rules, so I'm not sick about this. Second picture shows the low I thought was strong. Am I incorrect? Yeah, overall your narrative is right, spot on. It's just the longs. So if we're really gonna look to like trade against the overall trend of the day, like the current trend, right here we see we're building bearish and we're respecting the bearish P areas and we're continuing lower. If you're going to take longs, you have to get in a bit sooner. You have to enter at like either the order block rebalance or like the displacement as it's moving. You can't really enter at DRD because by the time the DRD is finishing, which would have been like right here, price already did what it was supposed to, which was rebalance back up into like PXL, not PXH, my bad. And yeah, overall the longs were not bad. It was just unfortunate. Just keep in mind the overall narrative. So we're bearish. If we're gonna take longs, we have to take it below a significant P area that price could reverse from. So this CB that displaced us lower is what you should refer to. But overall, not bad. Yeah, and you can see price came back, turned on manipulation, then we displaced away. Watch your video, it helped a lot. I just have to make sure to apply the markets. High time frame is bearish, and why I was wrong for having a bullish bias. Friday high has a form of manip with proper displacement. London pre-New York go to take out the accumulation of the high and then we displace low. Yeah, we bounce back up to it. Came from internal manipulation, displaced away. Another internal manipulation, we're displacing away. Very clean. Yes, took out all of this. Yep, nice SMT as well. Displacement, you enter on that, or I mean at the rebalance, stop loss at the high. Forward test, yep, was still valid. I mean, is this really accumulation? Because we have nice rebalance and we displaced away from it. You know, you took shorts right here, so it wouldn't really be accumulation because we have internal manipulation, displacement, DRD displacement. You know, this would be accumulation right here where price would like range. But if we're displacing lower or higher, I wouldn't really call it accumulation like that. Yeah, your second trade, not really the best, but your first trade was perfect. You should have taken the first trade, not the second on your accounts. Overall, unfortunate, but bias overall was good. Especially here, it was perfect. See, took my trade off bearish narrative. We swept a high pre-macro, trade away from it. Took trade off DRD, closed my position early like a bitch out of fear, and all these wicks I still trailed. DRD, yes, good. Stop loss was perfect. Price comeback, displaced rebalance. I mean, bro, Pedro, if you were scared, you had a perfect entry, right? Price continued to displace away from you. Okay, we're not really making new highs. We're just making new lows. Okay, like this high, this high, this high. All of these highs were like lower than the previous. So if we were gonna reverse, you realistically just want to see like new highs being built. So like this, price would come back, go lower, come back up, go lower, come back up. You know, but here we're going lower, barely coming back up, going lower, barely coming back up. You can literally see the trend, like we're going lower, we're trending lower, right? And price would not really look to reverse from here, because if it did, we already had this reaction here, but it closed like a wick, and then the second candle opened hella displacing lower. So be patient. If you're gonna hold your trade for longer points, you can't like pussy out of your trade if you see like a weak reaction, you know. Milv, I can't lie, this is way too late. Overall, your bearish bias and like narrative is not wrong, but entry was a little bit late. Yes, we're respecting the CB, but order block is still holding. We didn't really disrespect it. You get what I'm saying? And DRD down here was a bit late because after we swept the slow, if you were looking for DRD, you were waiting to see how price was reacting after we swept the slow, because this low came from the order block rebalance. So if price was to resweep it, respect it, was still very possible. But if price was to fully blast through it, give us a DRD, then you would know this order block is not holding. Then it would be valid for you to enter. So just bad entry. No trades, valid. Slept in, valid. Hopefully you enjoyed it and you got your mind refreshed. I sat Monday at 10:45. We had a similar setup that I took today. Could you please help me understand the difference so I can avoid the trade from today but keep taking these ones? Is it because the rebounds supposed to push us back past PXO, or because we didn't have too much displacement lower pre-macro? Okay, so wait, let me see. Boom, that's internal inflation, displacement lower. Price came back to resweep. Over here, the reaction was way cleaner and more deep than the one that we had today. So this was Monday from last week. I forgot, what did price do last week Monday? Let's see. Context. Tuesday. That's Friday. Am I tweaking? Yeah. Monday, we have these internal manipulation that price was reacting away from very nicely, and even at 9, or was it, what time was it? Am I tweaking? Let's go back. Let us go back. Okay, we had this internal manipulation, yes, but price edged that low by a tick. I mean, compare the reaction that we got to this from this manipulation on Monday, where we were coming off bullish already, and where price came back to remanipulate all this accumulation right here. So compare that to today. Yes, we have internal manipulation on both, but we weren't ranging bearish. Like, we weren't coming away from highs. So like, we didn't have a high to refer to. Right here, the only high that we had was price already took it out pre 930, which was right here at, or no, yeah, 930 took out the high right here. So that was the high you're referring to, all right? And after price came up down and gave us that internal manipulation, we immediately started displacing away. Like, price didn't slow down at like PXH right here or like right here. Nah, it immediately kept displacing up, and as we were displacing up and versing the CBs, we had actual DRDs to go past it. And when we got back up to these highs, price didn't like give us a bearish reaction. It just slowed down, gave us a resweep internally, then we pumped back up. So that was legit the difference. Here we're referring to a high that we are reacting away from. Back there we didn't really have much highs to refer to. Like, we didn't have bearish structure to, you know, where price might still respect. But like here, we have bearish structure to refer to, like this PXL, right? Obviously we have internal manipulation, but if you just look at it, trading away from highs. Yeah, got it. Overall, got scared to enter on market open for shorts, but it's fine. Just journal. Yeah, not bad. I mean, market shorts were even like they weren't really the best. Even the market open shorts. Even if you waited for 940, you could have still caught the longs, or I mean the bearish, even after we made the SMT at 955. So there's multiple opportunities to take both, not just like later on where you can like force a really like bad entry. Much better. Yeah, context over the entry itself. Like, entries, they all look similar, but overall it's just the context behind the stuff that you're looking at. But of course, David. Yeah. Like, the longs at 1040-ish, they were not bad. It was just the reaction after. Like, we had nice order block rebalance, displacement away from it, nice DRD, but price legit slowed down at like the second displacement candle, you know? which we really don't want to see, especially if we're truly bullish. We just want to see price rip past it, you know. And even the next candle after that, where it just inverts the entire 2 displacement candles that we had. I actually spotted the longs after we took the draw, but narrative was bearish, and it was exactly at 950 with the displacement candle, so I didn't take it. Yeah, that's fine. As long as you spotted it, no. If you spot it, just slap like a fake long or short on it, you know, depending on the trade that you're seeing. Just forward test it, you know, even if you're not really going to take it, just slap an entry on it, like a fake entry, just to, you know, see, like, okay, if I were to take it, it would have been like this, that, you know what I'm saying? It would also help you. I know it's fried once price displaced in the outside of a entry. Yeah, after you see that, just close it. Usually we just rip, yeah, which is unfortunate. Alright, guys, any wrapping up questions? Other than that, you guys are free to go. Thank you, of course, thank you. How much size on 2XFAs? 8 micros, 10 micros is fine, but in these market conditions where we are having a lot of displacement, 5 to 6 micros is so good. Thank you, bro, of course. Thanks, Baba, of course. Piranha. Alright, with that, group call is wrapped. You guys are free to go. Have a good day. It's all good, bro. Prioritize your sleep more than these group calls. They'll always be recorded.